welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Gigi with Gigi Loves Beauty too, and I'm back with another video. And today we are jumping back into my collection videos, and I am going to share with you guys how many face palettes I own in my collection. So if you want to see how many face palettes I own, let's get started with this video, y'all. Okay, y'all, so here are all of my face palettes. So per usual, if you have not seen any of my other collection videos, I'm gonna give you a couple of seconds to see if you can guess how many face palettes I own. So go ahead and take a gander and see. All right, y'all, you ready for the number? So I own 45 face palettes, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring these into the bathroom so we have a little bit of better lighting, and we're gonna take a closer look at all of these face palettes. Okay, so first I'm gonna start off with the palettes that I have in my current October Shop My Stash. So first we have the Alamar Cosmetics Colorette Blush Trio in Dark Rich, and we have the shades Deserted, Oasis, and Candela. And it looks like that. This is the perfect fall blush palette for deeper skin tones. Now these blushes are super pigmented, so you have, if you have a shade similar to mine, you need to be very light-handed with these blushes, because literally one like light tap and pigment galore. These are beautiful. So that's that one. Next one is the Revolution and Tammy Paradise Glow palette. And we have a contour, a bronzer, a highlighter, and a nice orange warm tone blush. We have the Anastasia Sun Dipped Glow Kit. This is my favorite Anastasia highlighter kit that I own. I love this, and my favorite shade out of this entire palette is this joint right here in bronzed. Oh my god, this is so fabulous. Like, girl. And this one I love to use for inner corner highlight on a lot of looks. But the formula is so super smooth and creamy, and it just works so well on our skin tone. Hold on. I mean, I might as well swatch the last one too. So yeah, love that. And then last but not least is my big dog. This is the Sephora Pro face palette. It's very heavy. It's very expensive. I'm not quite sure if they make this anymore, but this is the medium one. So I'll go ahead and open it here. I'm not going to swatch all of the shades, but I'll just open it so that you can see it. And this is absolutely gorgeous. I've used this on the eyes and the face to create a cohesive look. I think my favorite shade out of here is this one right here called Bougie. Like, girl, I'm just going to wipe off my finger and swatch that one. I mean, girl, the most beautiful yellow-ish type highlighter shade. Oh, so stunning. Oh, that even has a little bit of a shift to it, if you can see that. I wasn't even aware that it did that, but yeah, those are the face palettes that I have in my Shop My Stash. So now I'm going to bring in all the other palettes that I have, and we'll go through all of those. Okay, so here are some more face palettes. These are loose. These are palettes that I keep towards the back of my face palette drawer. So let me show you these. This one right here is the Pure Dark Deep. Dark Deep 4-in-1 Perfecting Powder face palette. I love the brand Pure as a whole for complexion products. They are amazing. So this is the Dark Deep one. And so you have a bronzer, a contour, a blush, and a highlighter. This shade right here, I use this on my nose, and this I use, if I want a deeper contour, I will use this. This blush is an absolute favorite. Like, this right here is just a vibe for fall. It's a beautiful, beautiful coral, you know, coppery blush, and then the highlighter is absolutely gorgeous. Pure makes some amazing face products. So that's that one. This is the Milani Luminoso Glow Palette. I had this in my Shop My Stash for September. Unfortunately, I think this is limited edition and I don't think you can get this anymore. But if you have it, you know how to appreciate this. It has several Luminoso Glow shades in it. I mean, I don't even know how to describe this. These are highlighters, they're blush toppers, they're everything. And they've got a shade in here for every skin tone. And this is beautiful, it's drugstore, it's affordable, and I love it. Next up, these are two of the Lovecraft Beauty bronzer palettes. I got these from, I originally got this palette from Ipsy, and I have one that I have been using forever that have shade. These are two brand new ones. So I went on Facebook and bought two backup palettes of this because I was getting ready to hit pan on all of the shades on the original palette that I bought. So I wanted to have backups of this because I love this palette so much. Like, not only do I have these two backups for myself, but I bought another backup and I put it in my makeup kit. That just shows you how much I love this freaking thing. Like, this is absolutely gorgeous. Love these. Okay, this right here is the Blink Glow Getter Face Palette. I bought this from a BoxyCharm pop-up. I've only used this once, so I'm not quite sure if I can give you a full opinion on it. But from the one time that I did use it, the shades are gorgeous. Like, it does have a really good array of highlighters. It's got the deeper bronzy highlighter, deeper blush. It's got the icier highlighters, and then it's got this golden highlighter kind of in the middle. And then you've got these blush shades. So this is really nice. And then next are some Morphe face palettes, which I love Morphe. So this one is the 8H High 5 palette. I got this from Ipsy. This is a bronzer and highlighter palette. I freaking love this thing. This shade right here called Venus. If you can see, I actually had to repress this because it kind of cracked and broke, and I had to repress it, but I've used every shade in here multiple times. It was dirty, so I had to kind of clean it up and make it look nice, but this is amazing. This is such a beautiful face palette for medium deep skin tones. This is the other face palette that I have that was in my Shop My Stash last month. This is the 8R That's Rich palette. I love this. Once again, the colors are on the little plastic right here, but I love this because I can use this on the eyes and on the face. I did a very simple neutral look using these three shades here. Actually, I use these three shades here, and then I put this highlighter on my lid, and girl, when I tell you, that was like one of the most beautiful neutral looks that I have ever done. It was gorgeous. Like, I love this. I could travel with this because I can use it on my eyes and my face. Like, y'all can say whatever you want about Morphe, but I love their products. So that's that. This one is the 8C palette. So this is the Cool Tones blush palette. And I bought this one and this one on sale together. I think they were $10 a piece. So I got a really good deal on them. And so you've got some matte blushes and some blushes with some sheen to them. Even the shade, this shade right here is not really a blush for me. This is kind of more like a highlighter. But this is perfect for like cool tone, berry tone looks. Love that one. And then this is the complementing one in the 8W shade. So this is the warm tone one. And so this one to me screams highlighters at the top. And then all of these shades right here are blushes. And as you can see, both of these blush palettes are perfect for fall. Next we have the LA Girl Bright Beam Highlighter and Bronzer Palette. And it is this right here. This is gorgeous. I bought this with the Bright Beam eyeshadow palette because they also had a sale on it. So these two are bronzers. I've used this on my nose. I've used this on my face. I will say though, the bronzer is in here. These two powder shades are extremely powdery. So there's that. And then this one kind of shattered, so I had to repress it with alcohol, but it still works. And all of the highlighters are gorgeous. They show up on me really, really well. So this is a really great affordable face palette. And then the last one I have, this is my Z palette that I created. And so all of these shades here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are all from Ulta. This one is, oh, I don't know where this is from. I'm sorry. I don't even know where that shade is from. I apologize. But this shade right here, this is a Milani pressed powder in pecan that I depotted and put in here. And as you can see, I have pan on this. It was very difficult to depot this without messing it up. So there's that. And then this one, this is a single. I also do not remember where this came from either. So I apologize about that, but this is just a face palette that I put together, a blush and, you know, one bronzer palette. So if I need to grab it, I can. I wanted to condense my collection and not have so many single blushes lying around. So that's what I did. On to the next portion of my face palette collection. So now I'm going to show you guys all of my smaller palettes that I have. So first up is the BH Cosmetics Vanilla Cherry Truffle Blush Palette. I had this in my Shop My Stash last month. And I think the shade that I gravitate more towards these two shades right here. I'm sure you can see why, but I know there's a trend out there with all of the like really bright bubblegum pink blushes, but I've got one right here in this palette. So I don't need to purchase one of those blushes. And I'm just gonna swatch this so you can see. I mean, look at that. Like, I've got that in the bag. So if I need a bright pink blush, I've got it right there. I do not need to buy anything else. So that's that. I'm gonna switch this around. Okay, so actually no, I'm gonna turn it this way because I think this is the proper way. So this is the Revolution Patricia Bright Face Palette. This one just has a blush, a bronzer, and a highlighter in it. This right here is my Natasha Denona Glow Gold palette. And I mean, I think I got this on sale or clearance or something. I know I didn't pay a lot of money for this, but to me, this is not worth full price because these shades are just toppers. Like, there really isn't any pigmentation to these shades. They are mostly just like straight glitter. So, and I don't mind straight glitter when it comes to eyeshadow, but when we're talking about highlighters and face products, they need to have some opacity to them so that they show up properly on your skin. So I have to use these with, like, I'll even show you from swatching them on my finger. I'm not gonna swatch them on my hand, but see, do you see how sheer they are? And literally, like, yeah. So those are just kind of like highlighter toppers, and I pull those out when I want highlighter toppers. All right, so here is the Zoeva Spice of Life Highlighter Duo. I bought this during an Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. So we have Sweet Relief and Sinfully Delicious. And then I have these two K Voss Blushing Beauty and Hey Yay Lighter palettes. So this one is a blush palette, and it's got 3 illuminating blush shades in it. And these are very warm toned and gorgeous. And I would definitely use these as blush toppers, but I would also use them by themselves because I love illuminating blushes. So I would definitely grab those. And then this is the Hey Yay lighter highlighter trio right here. Okay, not working out for me. Okay, here is one of my Ofra Trios. This is the Midi Toasted Cashmere palette. So this has the shade Cheer, Rodeo Drive, and a versatile matte bronzer, which I only use the bronzer on my nose, but I love this because I have the classic iconic Rodeo Drive highlighter in here. And then I have a blush. And then, like I said, again, I use that bronzer for my nose. And then my second Ofra highlighter trio. This is just all highlighters. So this is the Spiced Velvet Midi palette. So I have Star Island, Bali, and Blissful in one palette. And if you know anything about Ofra's highlighters, they are absolutely gorgeous and gleaming. You really don't need a full size when you have all three of these. So, I mean, I've got Rodeo Drive and I've got all three of these. So, and I do have a couple of singles too from Ofra. This is another Pure palette. This is the Pure Bronze and Brighten palette. And it's got 3 shades in it. And honestly, I would not bronze with this. So these 3 to me are highlighter shades. So we've got this one. Let me see, what are the shade names? So we've got Mineral Glow, Afterglow, and Blush and Glow. So Mineral Glow is this shade right here. Afterglow is the shade in the middle, of course. And then Blush and Glow is this right here. I use, all these are highlighters to me. Like I don't use that as a bronzer, and I don't like shimmery bronzer. I like, you know, matte bronzer. I can even tolerate a satin bronzer, but I'm not going to use a glowy bronzer on my face. So yeah, that's it for all of my smaller face palettes. On to the last part of my face palette collection, which are some of my favorite face palettes that I own in my collection. So I'm going to go through this container first. Once again, if you have not seen any of my makeup collection videos, all of the containers that I use to organize my makeup come from Dollar Tree. So yeah, I got high-end luxury products in Dollar Tree containers. Yes, I do. Don't come for me. Okay, so first up is, this is a new addition to my collection. This is the Hourglass. This is from last year's holiday release, the Ambient Lighting Edit Universal Unlocked palette. And I'm very conflicted with Hourglass because I don't like how they don't make a lot of products that are brown skin girl friendly. I mean, but this palette right here, this palette is my brown skin girl friendly, and this palette is gorgeous. I mean, I used this palette for 2 months straight, and I did not want to put it down. Only thing I will say is this right here, this is supposed to be bronzer. This is a bronzer topper for me. That's how I used it. This bronzer does not show up on its own. But when you layer it on top of another bronzer, it's gorgeous. Highlighter, gorgeous. Blush is gorgeous. Ambient lighting, finishing powder, stunning. Like I traveled with this. I used this so much. It doesn't look like I did, but I used this so much. This was like literally one of my favorite face palettes, favorite new face palettes that I tried this year. Stunning, stunning, stunning. So I'm not planning on picking up the new face palettes that came out because I'm satisfied with this one. All right, anyway. Now we got my Essence palettes. So this is the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder Palette. And I love this because it's got a bronzer in here for everyone. There aren't any shade names on it, but y'all, I mean, this is $10. You have 4 bronzer / contour shades. This is gorgeous. You can also use it as eyeshadow. I freaking love this thing. And then I have the corresponding Essence Pure Nude Sunlighter palette. This is the highlighter palette that goes with it. Again, this is also stunning. This is the deeper one for deeper skin tones. They have another version of this that has a little bit of, you know, highlighters that are more geared towards fairer skin tones. So these are perfect for deeper skin tones, and it's gorgeous and it's affordable. It's only $10. See a theme? I love affordable makeup. This is the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette, the medium to dark version. So we have a contour shade, a scope shade, a highlighter shade. So I use this as a contour, of course. I use this on my nose, and then I use that as a highlighter. It's a beautiful palette. This is the Sephora and Lily Lashes CEO Millionaire palette. And I had this last month in my Shop My Stash, and when I tell you, this palette was so gorgeous. I used it on the eyes, I used it on the face. The highlighters are not like, these highlighters are not like bling in your face, but when you layer these highlighters over top of like a liquid highlighter or a cream highlighter, oh my God, so stunning. It's got the paper, that's the shade names. I mean, you've got a deeper bronzer, a lighter contour shade, which I used on the nose. Again, I also use this on the face to create a very simple, everyday look, cohesive look, beautiful, beautiful palette. This particular palette I haven't gotten too much use out of. This is the Sephora pigment palette, metallic pigment palette. And I have used this once. I used it in a full face of Sephora makeup, but honestly, I probably would not use this on my eyes again, just because the shades are not, they're not doing what I need them to do and giving what I need them to give. So I would most likely use this for a highlighter and blush topper, but I literally only paid $8 for this, so I can't even complain. And next we have my two Juvia's Place face palettes. This is a Saharan Blush Palette Volume 1, which I love. But I think my favorite out of the two is the Volume 2 one, because I think like this is more wearable. And I've used this more than I've used this one. But again, Juvia's Place makes an amazing formula. You can take these with you on to travel, and you can have shades for your eyes and your face all in one palette. Freaking stunning. This right here is the Odin's Eyes Soul Mane highlighter palette. This was gifted to me by one of my wonderful Instagram friends, Miss Lorraine Johnson Coleman. And these shades are stunning. We have the Tarteist Pro Glow and Blush palette. And that is what that looks like. So everything in this palette has some type of glow to it. And then last in this container is the Huda Beauty 3D highlighter palette. And this is the Bronze Sands version. So we've got a cream highlighter, and then all the rest of these are powders. So yeah, I don't necessarily care too much for the cream highlighter products. I'm still trying to figure out how to use that, but I love the rest of the powders that are in here. So let's move on to my last container, and then we will wrap up this video. All right, so here are the last part of my face palette collection. So let's go ahead and go through these super quickly. So first off, I have this e.l.f. Glow Gleam Beam highlighter palette. This is the one for deeper skin tones. If you can see that, it's the dark one. So this is again supposed to be the one for deeper skin tones. They do have another version of this for lighter skin tones. It's gorgeous. I love it, even though I haven't used it in a long time. This is the Alamar Hydrating Complexion Trio. So this is a hydrating bronzer palette, and I only use these two shades. I don't use that shade because it's just too yellow for me to use for highlighting, but I love these two shades right here. So that's what I use. This is an OG favorite of mine. This is the Cover FX Perfector Face Palette in medium deep. Oh, this thing, I mean, you can tell it's dirty. Like, it is well loved. I love this thing. I've used every shade in here multiple times. I've used both the highlighters. I use this also as a highlighter and inner corner highlight. This says it's a finishing powder, but I use this as a blush. I've used that as a blush. I use this as a bronzer and a contour. This thing is fabulous. You can also use it on the eyes. I freaking love this thing. One of my favorites for sure. So, actually, put these back in here so I can keep my collection where it needs to be, okay? This is the Sephora S Clean Velvet Cream Blush Palette. I love this thing too. I've only pulled this out once to use in the Shop My Stash, And literally the only shades that I used are these two right here. And this shade right here is my favorite to use because it's a blush shade, but it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. So next time I pull it, I want to dip into these other shades and give them a try too. But the formula on this is phenomenal. Love that. Now I'm gonna get into my BHs, which I love. So this is the BH Glowing in Grease palette, and this is not my original palette. I bought this palette before. And when I originally purchased it, that shade right there called Athens was completely shattered and destroyed. So, and I even tried to repress it and it just didn't work. So I actually gave the palette to my daughter so she can use the rest of the shades in it. And I was like, you know what? I need this palette in my collection because I love the blush shades and the highlighters. I feel like they're perfect for my skin tone. So I went on Mercari and I found the palette and I repurchased it. So that is my repurchased Glowing in Grease palette. I also have the Blushing in Bali palette. So you can see what that looks like. This is absolutely stunning. I love BH's face palettes. They are so gorgeous. I think I found this at TJ Maxx. Either TJ Maxx or Marshalls or maybe on Ulta for sale. I definitely found this at TJ Maxx. As you can see, it's only $5.99. This is the Illuminating in Ireland palette. So this is strictly highlighters. And I had to pick this up because my husband is Irish and we do a lot for St. Patty's Day. So I could not resist getting this palette. And then the last BH face palette that I have is the EMPTIES in Aspen palette, which I also found at TJ Maxx for $5.99. I took off the front sleeve, so I did only pay $5.99 for this, but y'all look at this. Like, girl, these highlighters are stunning. So yeah, I had to pick that up, especially for only $5.99. And then the last two that I have is the ABH Moonchild palette. More fun, colorful highlighter shades. As you can see, Lucky Clover is my most used. And then last but not least is the Anastasia Glow Kit. This is the Sugar Glow Kit. And so those are those shades right there. All right, y'all, so that is a wrap for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the face palettes that are in my makeup collection. So if you are new here and you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you smash that like button for me. It lets the community know that you guys enjoy the content that I'm bringing to you. Also, make sure you have your notifications turned on also that you do not miss any content from your girl, Gigi. And make sure you're following me on my other social medias. I am Gigi Loves Beauty too. We'll put the handle right here. And I have my second page, which is Gigi Loves Makeup. That is my freelance makeup business where I post makeup that I do on other people. Gigi Loves Makeup. I will put that up here as well. To all of my returning subscribers, thank you so much for continuing to support this girl right here. And to all of my newbies who come on board, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate every watch, every like, and every comment because it motivates me to create more content. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.